Welcome to another YouTube video. We are here again on my plush red velvet sofa. It's not even a sofa, it's like a chair and a half. Anyways, I love this thing. And it has kind of half decent lighting for my house, which is unusual because everything's so fucking dark in here. Anyways, I've lost the paper. There it is. Okay, anyways, today we are here to do a tag video called My First Time. If I wasn't a stone cold bitch, I'd blush, but like, I don't actually think it's about that. I hope it's not about that. I haven't actually read these questions, so you're probably going to be as surprised as I am. All right, my first time. Here we go. Number one, first app you check when you wake up in the morning. Better learn to read if I'm going to do all these questions. Probably Instagram. Like, I don't have that many apps. I have Instagram and like Twitter, and that's kind of it. So, Instagram. First broken bone. I think it was my nose. I've broken my nose like 3 times. So I haven't broken a whole lot else. So I'm going to say my nose. First foreign country you ever visited. That would probably be the States. When I was little, my parents used to sometimes go on trips to like Florida and stuff. We went to Disney World when I was very little. So probably that. First grown-up country I ever visited, like by myself, would be England. I went 2 years ago with my partner, and it was like fucking amazing, and I can't wait to go back. First Instagram, Twitter, or Facebook post. Well, I don't have Facebook, so I don't have a first Facebook post yet. I would guess it would be first Instagram post, and hopefully we can put up a picture here if I move over far enough. Yes, my first Instagram post. There you go. There it is. Hope you enjoyed it. First makeup item. I don't remember, but I probably think eyeshadow. I would think eyeshadow. I didn't get good at eyeliner for a while, and I did this thing where I wore eyeshadow with no eyeliner, which is a terrible idea in all regards, but I did that, so probably eyeshadow. First plane ride you ever went on. I know I've been on a plane before, but I did go to North Carolina a couple of years ago, so that would probably be my first big girl, like by myself plane ride that I ever did. I think I went on a plane with my parents, but I don't remember. First time you ever got in trouble at home or at school. Well, I was semi-regularly in trouble at home, but not over anything serious, just like, being mean to my sisters and, tying one of my sisters to the staircase and rolling one of my sisters down a hill in a barrel and like, normal kid stuff. Oh my God. Okay. First time you were allowed to put on makeup. I don't know that I was ever not allowed to put makeup on. When I was little, I used to decorate my face with, those stick-on earrings that like kids wear. I used to put them all over my face, which I know that is very surprising. And you would never suspect that I would put on fake earrings when I was little, but I did. And occasionally I used to put on a lot of glitter. I used to pretend I was a rock star when I was little. Again, unsurprising, but I did. So I used to decorate my face with all sorts of like makeup and jewels and stuff to make myself look like a fancy rock star. First YouTuber you ever subscribed to? Well, that would be Miss Black Friday herself, which I know is like the quintessential goth YouTuber, but that's kind of awesome because like, I like her shit. So she's the first person that I ever subscribed to. First time you went shopping on your own. I used to sometimes take shopping trips to Toronto, in the summers, like from high school and stuff. I used to go shopping, take the bus to Toronto and go shopping. I guess I wasn't really by myself. I was with either like a friend or a partner, but like that's kind of like the first time I went shopping like without my parents, without my family. So like I'm gonna count it. My first boyfriend or girlfriend. Well, I did have a boyfriend in elementary school. When you have like a boyfriend and like really all you do is like hold hands, and sometimes he buys you colored rocks. And his name was Chris, and he was fantastic. And he gave me possibly the best compliment anyone has ever given me. He told me that my knuckles were so fierce they could probably take out a rhino's face. So take that, boys and girls. If your boyfriend doesn't tell you that, then... My first car. Well, it wasn't my first car. It was actually my partner's first car, but it was the first like car that I ever rode in that I wasn't like taking rides with my parents. And it was a beautiful, ugly orange red 1995 Sundance. And it looked like basically like a little box on wheels, and it had a decal all the way down the side of it of these little human like figures like dancing like this all the way down the side. It was wide. It was like about that wide. And yeah, we found it a little bit embarrassing, but like, whatever. It's a car. It's our first car. It drove us places without our parents, and we were quite happy with it. My first celebrity crush. That would probably be either Hulk Hogan or Paul Hogan, both of which I thought were extremely dreamy, when I was like a little kid, when you have a crush on them, but like you don't know why. My first like actual celebrity crush would probably be Trent Reznor, which I still am harboring that crush like to this day. So my first cooking experience. Okay. So when I was little, I had an easy bake oven, and I used to all the time make my parents cakes and pies and things in it. Which I am told just recently, like my mom told me like a year ago that all that food tastes like shit. Like I never ate any of it myself. I was like, oh my God, I'm making a cake for my mom. Isn't that exciting? But like apparently easy bake ovens make terrible food. But my parents were very good sports and ate it all and told me that it was absolutely delicious, which could be why I love to cook now. My first crush, which again would probably be my first boyfriend, Chris, from elementary school. My first ever cell phone was in 2007, because I'm extremely late to the party apparently, and it was a flip phone, and I loved it. And I only quit using it when they made me give it up because it didn't have a SIM card, and they quit servicing cell phones that don't have SIM cards. So they forced me to get rid of it and upgrade, which I was very sad about because I could text like a fiend with those texting with the letter keys. I was so good at that. I could do it without even looking. Okay, my first ever date. My first ever official date would have again been with Chris. I feel like I'm just fucking talking about him constantly in this video, apparently. But we went to Red Lobster. His parents actually drove us to Red Lobster because we weren't old enough to drive. And it was, very romantic in that little kid sort of way. And I got made fun of mercilessly at school the next day for it. But it was cute and I enjoyed it. My first ever girlfriend. Well, I don't know if that means like romantic girlfriend or like friend girlfriend, but that would probably be Amy, my friend Amy. She's amazing and beautiful and one of the only natural redheads that I know, actually. And she has super long red hair that she sits on. And yeah, she's totally gorgeous. My first ever kiss. I don't really remember, that. I'm sure my mom probably told me that I kissed like some little kids and some little boys or something when I was little, but isn't that terrible? It's not terrible. I don't really remember. My first fear. Well, I'm pretty scared of like parasites. That's like current, but like I've always been kind of scared of parasites. So like, I'm going to say parasites, and I'm going to say that that's still ongoing. My first friend in college. Well, I met a lot of cool people when I was in university, actually. I was in the theater program, so I met a lot of really cool theater kids, and we were all like pretty, like really good friends. I don't think there's anyone that I met like through university that I'm still currently hanging out with. So my first heartbreak would probably be when some of my pets died when I was little. Like that really still breaks my heart when animals die, because I'm like a big pet lover. My parents always had dogs, and it makes me very, very sad when they got old and either had to be put to sleep or died naturally. It was terrible. My first internet activity. Well, my first internet activity would probably be checking my email, because I don't do a lot of social media stuff really, and I still don't do as much as a lot of people. But in the beginning, I didn't do it like at all. So it was mostly just like checking my email and like writing back and forth to my friends that way. My first job was at a restaurant called the Strudel House, which was a Hungarian restaurant, and I waited tables there. My first language would be English, obviously. I did learn French in school, and I still sort of speak French very badly. But yeah, mostly English. My first love. Well, my first love would be Brody, and luckily I'm still with him, so very lucky about that. My first pet. When I was little, my parents had a dog named Boot, and she was black and white, and she looked like she was wearing little boots, which is why her name was Boot, and she was adorable. My first piercing, and when did I get it? My first piercing was probably the same as almost everybody's, just my first lobe piercing, like down here. My first sexual experience. Well, that's rather personal, kids, and I don't think that needs to be on the internet. My first swear word. I remember saying like crap and damn a lot when I was little as like swear words, which I know aren't like really swear words now, but like I'm going to count it because I felt like they were when I said them. It felt very, very naughty to say those things. My first tattoo was a bat, unsurprisingly. It's a little bat tattoo on my hip, which I got because I thought I didn't want to tell my parents about it right away. And I got it because I figured it would be obvious because most of the time I'm wearing shorts or pants, obviously, unless I'm wearing like a bikini or something. So it wouldn't be visible. My first thought today was like, oh God, I'm tired, which is my first thought most days, actually. My first time on a ship. When I was little and we went to Florida with my parents, we went on a glass bottom boat tour, which I guess isn't really a ship, but like it's a boat. So that counts. My first time on a train. I went on, my grandparents took me on a scenic train ride when I was little. I can't even remember what the hell it was called. Something Canyon train tour. Anyways, it's pretty like scenic and, but unfortunately I got very, very, very motion sick and they had to give me a grab all, so I slept through most of it. My first toy was I think a blanket. Like I have a blanket from when I was little. It's yellow and it has like little mice on it. But I also have a stuffed animal, which I consider my main stuffed animal from when I was little, and her name is Moggy, and she's absolutely adorable. Hang on a second, I'm gonna show her to you. This is Moggy. She's a pig. She was a pig. Her ears broke, and she lost some of her stuffing. It's her pigtail. She lost some of her stuffing a while ago, and my mom tried to restuff her, but she cut her right here, so she has this terrible scar on her throat now. So there. She wears a scarf now to cover her poor neck scar. My first tweet. Don't remember, but I'm going to look it up and hopefully we can put a screenshot of it. Yes, my first tweet. It probably said something horrible like, I'm on Twitter, motherfuckers, which is exactly something that I would say. But it might not be that. My first YouTube video. I think it was reacting to 40 years of goth video or something. It was just, I didn't even plan on doing it that day. The video just came up and we were like, oh my God, we're going to do a reaction, film it now and put it up. And then bam. And then I was on YouTube and here I am a year and a bit later. Okay, let's keep going. My online profile picture. It doesn't say my first, it just says my online profile picture. So bam, 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 bam. There it is. Aren't you excited about it? The first book I ever remember reading. Well, I know I read a lot of like little kid books when I was little that I don't really remember, like Care Bears and shit. But I was very fond of the Choose Your Own Adventure series when I was very little, where you could like pick how the book was going to end and like read through it. Those were amazing. Sometimes I reread it several times to get like all the endings. First concert I ever attended would probably be the Tea Party. I went and saw the Tea Party in Sudbury of all places. Holy shit. But it was great. First movie I ever remember seeing. Well, I do remember Labyrinth from when I was little because it fucking traumatized me. Those little guys that like pop out of the floor and change the tiles were scary as shit when I was little. But the first happy movie that I remember seeing was The Little Mermaid. I saw it in theaters with my parents. And yeah, that was a lot of fun. But obviously I like Labyrinth now better than I like The Little Mermaid, so. The first person I talked to today would be my partner Brody, and he is now gone to work. The first person that ever broke my heart would probably be my grandma, which is terrible to say, but that's because she died, and that really broke my heart. I can't really think, I didn't really have any like terrible breakups with like boyfriends or partners when I was young, so I'm guessing that like my grandma dying would be my first like really heartbreaking experience over a person. The first person you text when something exciting happens. Well, it depends on what that thing is. If it's something like fashion or clothing related, that would probably be my friend Carrie. If it's something like life exciting or something that happened to me, that would be my partner Brody. First text I sent today. I don't think I've texted anyone today yet, actually. The first thing I do every morning is wake up, put on a vintage peignoir set, and stagger out of my room to go make a cup of tea and or like see if I have any important texts waiting. First thing I do when I get home is usually take off my goddamn eyelashes. I love them, but they're kind of big. I don't know if you know this, but they are fake, unfortunately. I'm sorry to break your heart, but I do wear fake lashes. And yeah, sometimes when I get home, I'm like, enough of this. And then also dreads, or if I'm wearing anything like that, I'm like, fuck it, all of that is coming off. Also this. First time you ever got drunk? I guess it would probably be in university. Like, I didn't drink really when I was like in high school or anything, which is unusual, but I didn't. So probably in university. First wedding I ever attended. Well, the first and only wedding that I have ever attended would be my sister's wedding, and that was only because I was forced to go. I don't particularly enjoy attending weddings. When did you go to your first party? Well, if you count all parties, that would probably be like a friend's birthday party when I was very, very little, because like I've gone to a shitload of little kids' birthday parties. When did you have your first sleepover? I was actually rather fond of having sleepover parties when I was little, so I used to have them quite often for my birthday. And I had a friend that had a birthday around Christmas, and she used to have sleepovers, and we would go turn on the Christmas lights and like have our sleeping bags and like sleep under the Christmas tree. And I always thought that was extremely fun. First time you ever got a speeding ticket? Well, I have only had one speeding ticket in my driving career so far. And I was coming back from Aquafit. I was coming back from Aquasize class, and I was in like a wet fucking nightgown because I was on my way to go sewing with my friend, and I'd taken off my bathing suit, didn't really dry myself properly, and I put on like this baby doll set, like this vintage black lacy baby doll set, because we were going to be hanging out in her house all day and I didn't want to get dressed. And I guess I was speeding and didn't realize it, and I got pulled over by the cop, and he's like, okay, like get out of the car or whatever to find your license and stuff. And I got out of the car in like this wet vintage lingerie with like slicked back bald hair, and he's like, what the fuck is going on? I can only imagine. Okay, apparently this is the last one. The first time you got in a fist fight. Well, I've been in a few fist fights in my time, unfortunately. But, yeah, not anything really like, well, probably with my sisters would be my first one. I'll bet you I fought my sisters. I don't remember that, but like, I'll bet you, because like little kids hit each other. It's what they do. But my first proper fist fight would probably be after a bar. I was coming out of the bar. Brody was hammered, and we were coming out of the bar, and I was wearing this like really expensive leather corset and leather skirt and boots and the whole bit. And there was some dumb bitch standing outside with a super soaker spraying the goth kids as they came out of the bar just to be an asshole. And I was like, what the fuck? And I just lost my mind and went up to her and grabbed her super soaker and like broke it. And I was like, what are you doing? And then she was like, wah, and tried to like punch me. And I was like, get out of here. Blah. And Brody was so drunk. He had his hand on the car, and he was like, Missy, please don't go to jail. I'm too drunk to help you, and I don't have any money to bail you out. But I did not go to jail that night. I did not go to jail. I threw away her super soaker, and she had a little hissy fit, and then she went away, and everything was fine. So there you have it. Quite a story to end this video of 56 questions about my first time doing things, ladies and gentlemen. There you go. You probably know way too much about me now, but you can't unhear it, so you're stuck with it. And I hope you liked it. And if you did, can you please give this video a thumbs up? Please subscribe to my channel. If you want to follow me on Instagram or Twitter, it's madam_absinthe. And Instagram is mostly like outfit pictures. Twitter is mostly like, holy shit, this is what I'm sewing, and also my face and occasionally weird shit that happens to me. So please like, please subscribe. If you want to follow me on social media, go ahead, that'd be amazing. And hopefully I will be able to make more videos for you shortly.